All right, recording now. So,
Cool.
all right. So, welcome to another episode of the Y Network, and we have back with us again Faheem Abdul Razak. I'll
I'm
tell this man
back.
does. Yeah, this man does a lot. He knows a lot, man. It's great. Always learn something new every time I talk to him. So, you need friends like that. No, now we family, man. We can't even say that
That's
we
right.
can't be friends
That's right.
anymore.
We knew each
We
other a
know
long
each
time.
a long time. Man. I wanted to tell you this that I learned to play chess. You
Oh
taught me
snap.
how to play chess. You remember?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. Let me tell you, man. You know, I used to go home and dream to come back because you used to taunt me every time you beat me. That devil laugh right there.
That
Oh
was fun.
man,
That was fun.
yeah, that was so. I learned so much, and it was fun. We played it on Nintendo. Yeah, it was it was good to learn. But I wanted to tell if I never said it, just wanted to let you know today that I learned to play chess by playing you.
Thanks. That's cool. That's cool.
All right, today we're we're tapping into something that's very near and dear to me, and I'm sure it's fine as well. We're
Mhm.
talking about all things diabetes.
Yep.
Hopefully, by the end of this, you guys will get a good sense of this. We'll call it disease, right? It's an
Hmm.
autoimmune disease, right?
Well, they call it, believe it or not, it's called a lifestyle disease, and
Mm,
we'll go into that. It's we could talk about it, but yeah, this is it's based off our lifestyle and our choices because it's something that it can be you can run in the family, but running in the family is habits.
definitely. So before we start, I got
Yeah.
some definitions here, and I just want to read out to people so we could everybody be on the same page about diabetes and different types that people may have. So
Mhm.
there's to my knowledge, there's three types of diabetes. You have the type 1, and you have type 2, and then you have the pre-diabetes, right? So I'm gonna read this. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. The body attacks the pancreas, so it can't produce insulin. It's usually diagnosed in children or young adults by early age, but it can happen at any age. People with type 1 must take insulin for life. So they say. You know, I don't know how true this is, but there's some herb doctors that say that they can reverse it. So I can't say
Mhm.
if it's true or not. Um, not caused by this, like what you were saying. For this one, is not caused by a lifestyle, right? And the
Right.
symptoms usually come quick. So that's type 1. Well, type 2, most common type, 90 to 95 cases. Body produces insulin but doesn't use it well. It's insulin resistant. And we're going to get into that later, what insulin resistance means. It happens more in adults by by rising in young people. So that means that
Mhm.
you start young, then I guess like they say, it's a lifestyle. You continue the lifestyle as you get into adult, and then you could get diabetes. So strong links to lifestyle, physical inactivity, poor
Mhm.
diet, excess weight, especially belly fat. You can
Right.
manage it by like definitely by my lifestyle changes, oil medication, and sometimes insulin. All right. Then now we're going to touch on pre-diabetes. Blood sugar higher than normal, but not high enough to be diabetes.
Right.
No symptoms in most people. This case
Mhm.
is highly reversible, meaning that you can. It's the easiest type that you could actually reverse. With
Right.
lifestyle style changes, many people can return to normal blood sugars. Without changes, many progress to type 2. So now that we touch into all those different types of diabetes, so Fahim, I'm gonna turn it over to you to,
Mm.
you know, enlighten us.
Okay, yeah. So this is near and dear to my heart because my dad died from um he had multiple ailments, but one of them was he had diabetes symptoms because I did not know he was not eating the right foods and he was not physically active. He was obese, right? So I remember going to the doctor and he was going blind. So I found out he didn't tell us that he was going blind. I found it out that he was going blind. First through my sister, she mentioned it, and then I just noticed that the way he moved, I was like, well, he's not saying that he can't see, but then he was starting to ask me to read stuff to him and everything. So I was like, okay. So he had diabetic retinopathy, which is blindness due to diabetes. And I never heard of it before. He had a doctor's appointment. I went to the doctor's office with him, and they took a needle and they stuck it in his eye to get bleeding that was behind the eye. And it didn't restore his vision or anything, but they said they needed to stop the bleeding. So that was my first thought of diabetes. Like I heard of it, in our community, be like, oh, they got the sugar. Remember
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Yeah,
So so
exactly.
so diabetes is highly related to how your body handles excess sugar. That's why they say he got the sugar, right? High excess sugar. So our diets, sodas, juices with sugar in it, things like if we have a carb heavy diet, like we eating like bagels and donuts and all of this stuff, and coffee with sugar, tea with sugar, um, pasta. We like cake and ice cream and cookies and pie, like these sweet things, right? It's the sweets. So there was a period in my life where I had a sweet tooth. We used to call it a sweet tooth. Oh, you just like sweets. But we don't really know what it's doing to us. So the doctor explained to me, I said, why you got to put that needle in the back? And my dad was scared and everything. I had to hold my dad's hand, which was weird for me because I had never seen my dad like that. And I was like, why do you have to put that needle? They said, well, imagine the blood vessels, especially the tiny ones. Imagine their job is to carry blood, especially behind the eye. They're really tiny, they're sensitive. They said what sugar does, if you have a high blood sugar, it is in your bloodstream. And sugar is a crystal. So the crystal puts holes in your blood vessels like Swiss cheese. That's how they explained it to me. And I was like, what? So they like, yeah, so he has holes in his blood vessels. Instead of his blood vessels delivering the blood to the eye in the places that it needs to go to, the blood leaks out behind the eye through the holes. So I was like, they was like, so we're trying to close these holes. We're trying to put something in there that's going to stop it from bleeding. So that was my first understanding of it. Then when my brother Matasit, he was obese. He came down with COVID, and he had what they call those comorbidity factors with COVID that could actually cause you to die, and he died. So I was honed in on the fact that he was obese. And when people die from COVID, it just says COVID. It don't tell you, and then it'll list the comorbidity factors. So I said, okay, let me start learning about something called being a type 2 pre-diabetes prevention coach. That's what it's called. And it's a license exam for it. So I was talking to a person in my development. She was big on health and reversing diabetes and eating well and exercise. And she does like a personal trainer, everything. And she said, well, why don't you come into my group and we're gonna take this test and we'll get licensed and we'll talk to the people. So I started learning about how diabetes, type 2 diabetes in particular, is a lifestyle disease. That's why I use that term, because It's what you do every day and what you don't do every day that could make your situation better or worse. So every day, if I get up and I know I'm going to have a coffee with three sugars and a bagel every day in the morning, that's how I start my morning. Okay, so that might not be the best thing to eat in the morning. And then what do? I go out and I go to work and I work 8 to 10 hours with little
Sitting
physical
down.
activity, sitting down, typing on the computer. It's a sedentary job. I don't get no steps in. I'm not doing a whole lot. And then what happens when you do that kind of work? You're going to travel back home. You're going to be tired. You're going to sit down on the couch. You're going to probably eat something and watch TV
And go to
because you
sleep.
want to zone out.
Or go
And then
right to sleep, right?
right, and the food you eat might give you what we call the itis. And then so what is your dinner like? So you had some carbs during the day, right? You may have grabbed a slice of pizza, which is another carb, with sugar and salt and all of that stuff in there. That's how you make it. And then you might have had a soda with that, which is more sugar, right? Get home and say, I'm gonna have some mac and cheese, which is another carb, or some rice, which is another carb, or some pasta.
It's
You know,
starch.
it's all starch. So those all turn into sugar in your system. And then if you take a drink of alcohol, guess what that turns into?
Sugar.
Sugar. It turns into, so these are the things that people, this is our life. It's like the advertising on TV, the best foods are the ones that they putting on TV we're not supposed to eat. You know, they tell you, when you hanging out with your friends, have a bump light. I'm not
A
going to
Bud Light.
advertise no
Oh yeah,
companies,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like, boom, have a bump light. Then they got all these soda commercials about how great they soda is, and it has a great marketing campaign. And so let me tell you something about colas. I learned this in the program. Colas, that's the brown sodas. Like, I'll just name them, but I'm not specifically zoning in on any one particular. But like Pepsi, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, those are colas. They're called colas, and inside of these, a chemical they use is called phosphoric acid. I started to, because now when you go through diabetes, pre-diabetes training, one of the steps is you got to read the labels and understand what everything is in that food you're buying, right? That's one of the things they teach you. So if you can't pronounce it or say it, you got to learn it. So phosphoric acid is in the colas and the sodas. And I was like, okay, so what is, they was like, and it's a dangerous substance. Why is it a dangerous substance? We buy these colas and sodas. We don't even know what this chemical is. So I'm going to tell you what the purpose of the chemical is. Well, I'll tell you what happens when you drink this. The sugar content of colas is super, super, super high. And with the body's reaction to over consuming sugar is you vomit. That's the body's natural reaction. So phosphoric acid suppresses the urge to vomit.
Wow.
And the things that it needs to do its job is it steals the calcium from your body. It's a
So
calcium absorber. It's going to absorb the calcium to kick in to stop you from wanting to throw the soda up because the soda has too much sugar in it.
hold on right
Now,
there,
usually,
Fahim.
yeah, yeah,
Let me tell you a story. Don't forget. Don't lose your thought.
okay,
And I'm just gonna back up what you just said. So I stopped drinking soda, right,
mm-hmm,
for a long time. But when I used to get my sons, um, when they used to come over to the house on a Friday, I buy pizza, and usually
mm-hmm,
pizza comes with, you could get the package and come with soda. So I did made the mistake of having some soda, and I kept going back and forth from my bedroom to
mm-hmm.
the kitchen. I drank a full 2 liter bottle of soda. Let me tell you this. I was curled up in my bed. My bones was hurting. I I didn't know what to do. I just balled up in my bed and I was curled up because the thing about it is that when you stop taking poison, which is, let's just call it what it is,
Mm,
when you put that back into your body, it's the body can't. It's like, whoa, what is this,
right.
right? So my body was out, like you said, my bones was hurting. My bones was hurting, and I was in the fetal position in my bed, praying for this to pass. It
Mm,
took 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes for it to surpass. And I'm like, oh, because
mm,
this has never happened to me before, because I've been drinking soda forever. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And I drank a 2 liter bottle of soda before. Because you don't know, you just drinking. You know, especially if you're at a party,
right,
cookout, or whatever. You just drink. You don't know how much soda actually you consume when you're at a
right,
party. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because you don't drink water. Most people did, drink sodas.
right.
So I just wanted to back up what you were saying about how it attacks your bones and your calcium, because I
Yeah.
witnessed it, with me, with
That's
that.
heavy. That's heavy
Yeah.
because so that that got me on my phosphoric acid tip, and then I started looking up other things like aspartame, which is they call that a carcinogen. They say that's
Mhm.
cancer causing. That's in some of the food too,
Yeah.
right? But here's the thing about sugar. Sugar craves sugar. When you eat something sweet, you're going to crave more sweets. It's designed. So let me tell you, when I started going through this training, I started to learn the history of sugar. Sugar was considered at one point, it was like a drug.
It is.
And it says that
It's
sugar
addictive.
is the most addictive substance on earth. Cocaine can't touch it, crack can't, nothing could touch the level of addiction of sugar. It's harder to kick sugar than a whole lot of drugs because your everything you do in your life, it's they add it to stuff, right? So it's in almost everything. If you ever ate anything baked, like baked bread, and I've seen people put. You ever watch people prepare yams? Oh my goodness, the amount of sugar in there.
Yeah,
So
sad.
the issue, and we're gonna like I'm gonna interweave a whole lot of stuff in this because this is a life conversation. This is not just diabetes. This is life, right?
Yeah.
This
Definitely. Remember,
affects
like
us,
Kool-Aid. We gonna jump into
man. That Kool-Aid, you get that sugar rush from that head of the Kool-Aid, man. And you hear
and
people say things like, yo, I put a lot of sugar in there.
they put a, yeah. Is it, you remember the one that used to do Kool-Aid the best? You never saw what he did
Right,
or she did, right? Because they
right.
didn't want to tell you. Like they had a special recipe. Yeah, it was sugar.
Yeah,
That
that's a
was the
special
recipe.
that's a secret ingredient, right?
Yeah.
It's like lots of it.
Hmm.
So your mind is like,
Yeah,
yay. And then you
exactly. It's
get
like,
that
oh
you
man.
get that sugar crash too when
Uh-huh.
like when you come down off of it and you start feeling like sluggish and weird. And that's usually the itis too. Like when you talk
Hmm.
about the itis, your body's not designed to process the amount of sugar we eat on a daily basis. It's not. And that's the problem with insulin's resistance. Like, so diabetes, a lot of it has to do with how your body processes sugar. A lot of it. So guess what? When you exercise, you're burning off the sugar, but you can't turn around and go then get a donut after you exercise because now you're putting it right back in your system, what you burned out. And it's twice as hard to burn it off than it is to eat it.
Mm.
It's twice as hard. So if you did a workout where you burn 300, 400 calories, one donut is 300, 400 calories.
Or soda, 250.
So yeah, so now you just took an hour's work and you undid it in like 5 minutes, right? So it's about, and this is it's a hard thing for us to have a level of discipline when it comes to eating, right? Guess what else affects that? The time of day you eat. The time of day. Let me get that for a second. This is my phone. Excuse me for that. All right. So the time of day you eat also affects that. So that means if you eating late at night and you go to sleep with food on your stomach, that's a bad thing, right? Because your food, you shouldn't go to sleep right after you eat. Everybody knows that. Like I listen to some cultures, like some people like Italian, like in Italy, they like after they eat, they go take a walk sometimes.
Yeah,
And some
exactly.
people in France do that too. They go
Yeah.
take a walk, so it gives them a chance to burn it off. But we sitting here in front of the TV. So I don't know how much walking you're gonna get done there. But that's another thing, eating and watching TV, right? It's the habits that we have that exacerbates the situation with us. So, like, if you have a certain amount of time, for the most part, I'm pretty disciplined. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to eat after 7 o'clock. I'm gonna stop eating at 7 o'clock. Period. Now, I might have a cup of tea with no sweeteners in there. I don't use no sweeteners, no additional sugar. I don't do none of that. I got off of it. Yeah, when COVID came, actually, I did because my brother died from COVID. So I was like, I'm changing my whole life. And I made a decision. So I do cleanses every now and then, but I made a decision back then. I was like, I'm gonna only eat raw, uncooked fruits and vegetables because guess what? Fast food is one of the main sources of sugar and salt in our diets. There's nobody in the restaurant in the bodega that's monitoring how much sugar and salt they put in the food. They're seasoning the food for taste, not for health. So, especially you go someplace, I know we talk about sugar, but you go someplace and the food is mad salty. Yo, they season it for taste, and then they supposed to have some kind of credential for cooking. Some of them don't, right? They just know how to make the food taste good, and I'm gonna say it this way, they could literally be killing you.
And I think they do it by design.
Yeah, it
They
could be
do
that,
it by
or
design. They
sometimes
make
it's got to
them.
be out of ignorance too, like
Yeah, and
because look at the
you have a
chefs, look at the cooks.
yeah, you
What
have
is
a
their health?
yeah, exactly. But
Mhm.
you ever go we're from Harlem, and we have some staples in Harlem. We're not going to talk on it, but we have some seafood places where I've eaten there, and the food is salty already. Then you have someone, and you see it. The person is already um, obese, and they will add more salt to already salty food,
Mhm.
or add more sugar to the juice or whatever they got that is already full of sugar.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Look and
so
look at what people order too. So like if I do go to a restaurant, I'm in the salad section. I'm in the salad section. I'm like, yo, give me oil vinegar for the salad. And because the thing that it made me hyper aware of what I eat in the quantities and the food combinations. So that's another thing. So I'm like, give me salad. If I'm gonna have a protein, I'm gonna have like salmon or turkey burger or something to that effect. But sometimes I'm like, yo, give me without the bun, and they're looking at me strange, and I'm like, and then think about it. You eat pasta, we eat all this stuff, and then we get dessert. And then they got these drinks. Oh, you want the soda? You want the? I'm not gonna name the store, but you know what I'm
hmm
saying. Do you want the
yeah,
Texas size drink of this? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like, wow, it's like sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar, and then you gotta drive. So my body's sensitive to it to a point that if I eat a lot of sugar, my eyes get blurry. I'm just telling you how it goes. It just gets blurry. So I'm like, yo, I'm thinking to myself, yo, is my pressure? So first thing is like, is my pressure up? Second thing, I'm like, what did I eat? Oh, that had a lot of sugar in it. So that's why I'm real careful. I'm not big on restaurant food like that because I'm trying to live a long life. And I don't know if you know the singer Patti LaBelle. She cooks her own food. I'm trying to live a long life, and I feel like, and it's not coming down on cooks who cook in restaurants, but I don't think they have our health in mind when they're cooking the food. I think they have make it taste good on their mind, but what they're doing is making the food dangerous. So I'm a hip hop artist too, and I have a saying in one of my songs. that we became accustomed to the taste of poison. It's still poison, but it tastes so good that we're going to keep eating it. And we know the end result of what poison is going to do. Some of us do, but we can't stop ourselves because it's our habit. So going to the doctor and they saying diabetes runs in your family, that means everybody has the same habit. Break the habit. If every day you did this, that, and the third, and you ate this, that, and the third, that doesn't mean you have to continue that tradition. You could change it, and then it won't be in your family. It won't be in your immediate family. But we more creatures of habit than anything else. So we do what we saw, and we emulate it. Sometimes it's unconscious, but that's some things. Like there's a whole lot more to talk about diabetes because it's reversible type 2.
Yeah.
They tell us to use that term, reversible. And being a coach, for the time I was a coach, you catch it at the pre-diabetes stage when it's easier to reverse if the person follows the plan. If the
You,
person follows the plan. Because
you
guess
know what's
what?
sad,
Yeah.
Fahim, is that I know I've seen people do this where they know they diabetic, they know they're not supposed to eat this, or like you'll tell them, why are you drinking a two this is one person I spoke to, right?
Mm,
He didn't know he was diabetic until one day he just passed out. He was in the hospital, where it was
mm,
he had his I forgot what you call it when it's a part of diabetes when it's just your insulin or whatever goes too high, and
mm-hmm.
then you can
Diabetic
wind up
coma, like you could go
type,
into a
yeah,
coma.
type exactly, because he was in the hospital. He didn't know what the hell. He didn't know he had diabetes, right?
Mm,
Until that happened to him, right? And then even after that, Fahim, um, one day we're working, and he comes with a 2 liter sunk well
mm-hmm.
orange soda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, man, you're not supposed to drink it. That man almost chopped my head off. My doctor said I could drink diet. I said, well, you need to fire your doctor. If your doctor tells you could drink this, you need to fire him ASAP,
Well, I could tell you
because he don't
why the
see your
doctor would
best.
say that.
Yeah, he don't see your
And
best.
when we took the training, they said be don't be extreme with the diets, be modified with the diets. And in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but that don't work, right? If they say you could have 8 ounces of soda, 8 ounces is different from 2 liters.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. Like my brother Matasi, he was obese. Like he was pushing 500 pounds at one time, right?
Wow.
And he would get the I guess you call like the gallon things, almost a gallon. No, half. What's it? The two. You know when they have the ice cream with the big containers, the big tub, and he
The
would eat
pint.
that.
Mhm.
He would eat no, not the pint. It's the big one.
Oh,
You
okay,
see how
okay,
my
okay.
hands are, the big
All
one.
right, all right, all
He
right.
would eat that. Like this was a meal for him, and it's just crazy when you think about it. He would get a 7-piece fried chicken dinner with all of the sides, a 2 liter soda, that size tub of ice cream, and an entire apple pie and eat that. I'm talking about the apple pie that feeds multiple people. And that was one sitting for him. And one time we went to a restaurant, and famous restaurant, and the waitress came and she took his order, and he ordered like 2 entrees. So I'm thinking, oh, he must be ordering for me. And then he said, and Fahim, what will you have? He ordered 2 dinners, and he sat there and he ate those 2 dinners. And my dad was no better. Like he would have sodas and pizza and all the stuff you're not supposed to eat. And my dad was insulin dependent diabetes, and I didn't even know it. And he was not taking his insulin. And then before he got really sick, he started telling me, like, I say, hey, Dad, I haven't heard from you in 2 days. And he was like, Yeah, I passed out in the lobby of my building when you dropped me off. So this is after I then took him on took him on, became his what you call medical proxy, and I started noticing he was sick. So here's like this is crazy. This is when he told me everything. We was going to a restaurant and he fell in the parking lot. Now my dad was 390 pounds, and I tried to catch him. He said, "I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down." I said, "You're going to go down? What are you talking about?" He fell backwards. I tried to catch him, almost tore my back out.
Wow.
Let him go down to the ground. He's sitting there, he's shaking his head. And people was like, "You want me to get an ambulance? Something? He got a heart attack or not, something?" And I said, "Dad, tell me what's going on." He says, I took a double dose of my medication." I said, "What medication?" Guess what his medication was? He took 2 shots of vodka. You diabetic. He took 2 shots of vodka. And he said, I said, so when he said that, so I'm like all scared and stuff. I'm like, Dad. He said, I'll touch it. I said, everybody said, "You need an ambulance?" I said, "He drunk." So eventually he got to his feet. We go into the restaurant, and I'm like, 2 shots of vodka there to him. So we talking. So I had known then that he was diabetic. So the waitress came up and she said, "What were you having?" So my dad would be like, "Oh, I want the rice and the breadsticks." And he'll usually say that. I said, "My dad's diabetic." She said, "No rice, no breadstick." And she started, because we was regulars there. So she said, "No sweet tea." And he was just sitting there like, she said, "So what kind of salad do you want?" My dad had his screw face like, "Mm." And then he started telling me, he said, "Yeah, because when we go out to eat and I drink the sweet tea, my vision goes 100%. I can't see nothing after I drink the sweet tea." So I was like, "So how you make it to the car?" He said, "I usually follow you. I follow your voice." So we in our community, I know we talking a broader conversation, but in our community, we function like there's nothing wrong when there's a whole lot wrong,
We just
and we
basically
don't
putting
say it.
band-aids
Yeah,
on stuff, or we compensate. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Oh yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I follow you.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that's
we
how
don't
I
tell
rectify
people
it.
what we're going through. We don't tell people like this is what's happening to me in the moment. And see, that's that my both my parents was
Shit.
like that. Like when they was sick, I didn't know they was sick. I didn't know it. Like even before everything happened, I was walking down the street and I didn't know my dad couldn't see. And I was walking, and sometimes you walk faster. And I kind of sped up to kind of walk fast, and he started calling my name, and he's reaching around like this. And I was
Wow.
like, "Can you see me?" He was like, "No." That's when I found out he couldn't see. I was like, wow, like, and then we didn't talk about another form of diabetes. They said dementia is type 3 diabetes, which is geriatric diabetes and is related to sugar. Many medical doctors told me this. So I remember I was in the post office that same day my dad couldn't see me. We in the post office, and he's like, "Could you get my mail?" And I'm getting my mail, and he's standing at the side of the post office because he's older. He couldn't wait online. He was like 70, 72, 72. And I said, "Hey dad, here's your mail." And he said, "Who are you?" I said, "It's me." He said, "Me who?" I said, "Faheem." He was like, "Who's Faheem?" That's when everything started to sink in with me. Like, yo, he don't even remember who I am. 5 minutes I was told, we were having a conversation 5 minutes ago. He called my name. So diabetes, I mean, sugar affects the way your brain works.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's what happened to my mother. Because
Mm,
my mother, like I didn't know this throughout my whole life that my mother struggled with diabetes.
mm,
You know, she just did some home remedies, right?
mm.
I knew about, cinnamon, um,
Right.
knew about because that's what when I used to come to work, I mean, used to come from work like around midnight, And when I was younger, and she'll be up, you know, there was always a pot of cinnamon boiling with clovers,
Mm.
with
Mm.
cloves, right? I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? It's my mother. She always had a remedy for everything, just like your mother. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
So I didn't know why she did why she was doing this until later. I'm talking about a few years from now. I understand that she had before she passed, she had, you know, she suffered from diabetes, but she never got treated for it till later in life.
Mm.
So
Mm.
when she went from just getting the pills, and then later on it was she had to get the insulin shot. So she, you know, insulin's was helping her. It was better for her. So
Right.
then the dementia came, and that's when it started. I think that's when, you know, everything went downhill with that.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, I'm glad that you mentioned it, because that's people need to know this, right? These are the
Hmm.
progression of this disease. You know what I'm saying? That could be
Right.
prevented. Like before my mother passed, I went to the hospital, and she was in the room with you know how they put you in a room with someone else, right? While
Hmm.
the doctor is looking over whatever you came in for. And the doctor came in, was talking to this lady, and told her basically she couldn't eat the way she was eating anymore.
Mm.
This lady broke down. She started crying.
Mm.
She started saying, I didn't come for this.
Mm.
I didn't come. You telling me I can't eat this? I can't have this? And she started crying. It seems like it's like she was blaming the doctor
Yep.
for the news,
Right.
right? It was very, and the sad thing about these things is with people, especially, you know, I'm only going to speak on men. Like I seen people like they rather keep their lifestyle instead of changing it, and with that lifestyle, without that lifestyle change, they wind up um dying early.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's
I got a
it
story with that too.
yeah. So to me, I
Yeah.
always say, like, you know, when we young, great. But
Right.
once you get that, there's a cutoff time, an
Yeah.
age. Once you
Right.
get to that cutoff time, it's okay. You had your fun.
Right.
Now it's serious because, like you said, the pre-diabetes, it's a warning.
Yep.
Your poor body had enough.
Yep.
Your poor body can't do it anymore. It's fighting, and it's a losing battle because you're not helping it.
Right.
All it do is try to keep you alive, and you working against it. You know,
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put my conspiracy theorist hat on because, you know, I dibble and dabble in that too. But
okay.
so my approach to, I think we need to get young people healthy first because that's when the poison is introduced to us. While and I'm going to say it's a slow death, right? Your body is going to naturally fight it because you're young and you're growing and your body has all these extra hormones and stuff to fight it, but the poison's already in you, right? And the reason why the poison or the diabetes shows up is because as you get older, your resistance gets less. So you have all this resistance in a young age. Oh, they could get up and spring back and recover real quick because you're young. That's what happens when you're young. But the poison is there already. So on the story we was talking about people refusing to change their life, I was talking to an 84-year-old man who knew my father, and he said, "Did your father used to wake up with his legs burning and da da da?" And I said, "Yo, yeah." He told me. He said he had these like tingling in the legs and it was burning sometimes. He said, "I get that now. I get that now." I said, "You eat a lot of sweets?" He says, "I love my sweets. I ain't never giving up my sweets." And then I quickly ended the conversation about his legs because you're not going to win in that conversation. You're not going
Yeah.
to convince nobody, you
Especially an
know,
84-year-old.
84-year-old, and you're not going to convince them. So that's just what it is. But the thing is, we was having a life insurance conversation. Now, of course, I can't get 84-year-old life insurance, but I'm going to tell you this because it all relates. Black people, black and brown people, policies cost more money because we are in poorer health on average than anybody else because of our habits. If you have diabetes, you're either going to be denied a life insurance policy. That means you're not insurable, or they're going to charge you a lot of money. If you have um, smoking, anything, they're going to charge you more, or you're not going to get a policy. Addiction, drug addiction, they're not going to insure you. So with this onslaught of certain things, like, well, marijuana's, I would give a caveat. They will insure you, but you're gonna pay a lot. Because smoking is smoking, regardless if you say I'm smoking tobacco or I'm smoking marijuana, it's still gonna mess your lungs up. People don't see that math, that statement never reaches people's top floor on their head. It's still gonna mess your lungs up. So from the side of the insurance side, we ask these questions and then we say, "Oh, we want you to take a physical." That's where all the truth's gonna come out right there. We want to test your blood. We want to see that, and they could detect the diabetes and everything. They could detect. They could detect if you taking medication, all of that. But the habits that we have make us less desirable as candidates for insurance. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And this is probably one of the reasons why the Black community don't get insurance, because they can't be insured because
Or
of
they
their
can't afford it.
lifestyle.
They can't
Not
afford
to
it
not
because of
It's
the
not
lifestyle.
afforded. It's the life. Yeah, because of the lifestyle, they can't afford it. Yes, correct. But if you was healthy, it'll cost what everybody else pay,
Yeah,
right?
I
But
think
because it's
everybody.
not 10x, they want to 10x you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you don't. And let me just tell you. Let me just give you a perspective of how to look at it. Life insurance works this way. We want to insure people who are relatively healthy. We're not going to make a lot of money off them,
We might make
but
some money.
we're gonna make a little bit of money off them because they're healthy. But if somebody comes along and says, "Listen, I need you to insure me for $300,000," and they check your blood work and it shows that, I'm going to say it this way, that you don't even care about yourself. I'm going to say it that way. Then they're going to be like, "We don't care about you either. We're going to 10x you." Boom. If they choose to insure you anyway, because their whole goal is they don't want to pay out a check sooner than later. They don't want to. That's the whole. If they pay out a check soon after insuring you, within the first 10 years, they lost money. That's just the way they see it. So if they got to cut a check 10, 15 years, they lost money. They need you to live like 20 years for it to, and they don't know that. So and I'm just talking health in a physical and mental sphere. We're not, a lot of us are not physically healthy, a lot of us not mentally healthy as well. Some of us is even not even spiritually healthy. We haven't even dealt with a whole bunch of stuff with ourselves. But the food is a key factor. The food and the lack of physical activity, a key factor with diabetes. Like, we spend
Okay,
our
so
day working and getting in front of the TV. That's bad. That's a bad mix right there.
all right, so let's get into some best ways to prevent it. Right?
Mm,
We know it's exercise, moderate, right? Moderate, going for a 30-minute walk, right?
hmm
We're not. I think that a lot of people, hopefully people who's listening to this and going through what we're talking about, any change for the better is a big thing for your body. Going
hmm
in going in for a 30-minute walk, giving up the the soda. Give up the soda, right? Try to
Right.
find other ways. You got to change your palate, right?
Right.
Once you give, trust me, I went through this. I used to drink diet Snapple thinking that was the best, it's diet, so I'm drinking it. And I remember when I stopped drinking soda and then wasn't drinking, drinking that anymore. I tried to go back and I had to spit it up. I,
Mm.
I was like, what? Because my body now knows exactly what it is. It felt like I just took water and
Mm.
put a ton of sugar in it.
Mm.
Yes, that's how I felt, and then, that's why I left that alone. You'll be surprised when you stop. Your body instantly starts healing. It's
Mm.
incredible when you think of your body and what it does every day. You're a new person every day you wake up,
Right.
right? So it's
Right.
very intelligent, but you got to help it. It doesn't know. It only knows natural things. So when you put in plastic, some food you're eating has plastic. It's a foreign thing when it goes inside your body, and your body
Mm.
doesn't know what to do with it. So
Mm.
that this is how sometimes people get sick, because when you have your body is attacking something, a foreign object. Now that's how something slides through that it needs to
Right.
protect you from, right?
Right.
I'm just giving it just like a way to understand how your body, what your body has to go through, right?
Mm.
So, in talking about this, we'll give you some more data. Like one of the things that you look for to check if you're pre-diabetic. So is your A1C. So
Mm.
if your A1C is between 5.7 and 6.4, you're pre-diabetic.
Right.
Anything over 6.5 or higher, that's full-blown diabetes. So like we've been talking through, it's all on you. What do you want? Right? I'm gonna give you a quick story about myself, because I was pre-diabetic.
Mm.
And what happened to me was I was um pec wait I was vegetarian, no, pescatarian, right?
Pescatarian.
So yeah,
Right.
pescatarian. So I didn't eat any meat, but I did eat fish and stuff.
Right.
So, and I remember when I lost my job and I got depressed, and I said, "F this," you know what I'm saying? I started eating everything, and with not working out, not doing anything, I gained weight. So I kind of felt it.
Mm.
And something told me, just go to the doctor. Because I think as men, what we do is you're scared of what the diagnosis is going to be when you go to the doctor. You don't want
Mm.
to hear, you rather not know than know. So I said I didn't want to do that. Right. So I went, and that's the first bad health when, going to the doctor I got. The lady was like, yo, you're pre-diabetic. It's the first time I ever heard that.
Mm.
Right. So you're pre-diabetic. Faheem, I swear to you, I couldn't wait to leave to go start, because you know,
Right. Right.
we know
Right.
we're athletic. We
Right.
know
That's right.
So
Right.
that's the difference. I'm sorry for people
Right.
that's never exercised, never been healthy, or ran around and did things. It's harder for people like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't wait to leave because I knew what I had to do,
Mm.
right? So
Right.
after I left, I said I'll be back, right? So she did tell me what I needed to do, change her diet and everything, because she couldn't understand what was going on. So I was telling her, because, you know, and she was like, okay, come back in 3 weeks. I left there, went home, immediately went to the gym, put on the treadmill, came back, was a little lightheaded for a little bit, but I
Mm-hmm.
went and started working out and everything and such. Then I started drinking juicing.
Mm-hmm.
I did beets, carrots, celery.
Yep.
I didn't back then. I didn't even put ginger in it. I do that drink
Mm.
now, and I put ginger
Mm.
in it. Right. That's all
Mm.
I was doing. I was doing that, going to the gym. I came back 3 weeks. The doctor was in shock. She was
Mm.
like, "What the hell did you do?"
Mm.
I said, "All I did was." I told her, I said, but I think the main thing was the working out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was the biggest. And now that I'm more into um herbs and juicing and stuff like that, I know that the beets and especially the beets helped,
Mm-hmm.
because it helped with circulation.
Yep.
So that's walking and working out is circulation, right?
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
see, and then eating and changing my diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a quick turnaround. So if you're pre-diabetic, it could be that quick for you, right?
Right.
Every pound that you lose, you know what I'm saying, you're getting better
Mm-hmm.
at it. So let that know that if you get that diagnosis of being pre-diabetic, it's a it's you're in good standings because now
Right.
what I'm saying? Now you know what to and educate yourself. Hopefully you get
Mm-hmm.
some education here from listening to us, but educate yourself on it. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way nowadays that you cannot educate yourself like a doctor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
understand something and understand what you need to do. And we're telling you the blueprint right now of what to do. And hopefully we could dive in on certain things some herbs you could take and certain things that you could do, on top of, you know, getting rid of the sugar that you're intaking, the salt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually moving, right? Because these are the pillars of what you need to do to keep diabetes away,
Right.
right? So so add some on this, Fahim. Give me some
Yeah,
more.
so I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm no longer a pre-diabetes prevention coach, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. They
Mhm.
was telling us things like don't tell people extreme measures, tell them like, cut back on soda, cut back meaning don't drink as much. And my thing is I see things I see things kind of like it's either this or that, right? So when I start to rationalize and I say, do I want to live longer or do I not want to live longer? These products that exist is going to get in my way of living longer.
Yeah, you don't feel like
So
you
I'm
want
gonna
to
just
sugarcoat it. No, no pun intended. But you don't want
and
to
that's what I'm
sugarcoat it.
saying.
This is life. This
Right.
is
So
like, well,
so
why?
people
Why
get
should you?
coddled. People
Yeah.
get coddled and they want to tell them the like I'm not obnoxious, but they want to tell people the super polite version. Oh, we don't want to offend. No, like, do you want to live or do you not want to live? So that's how I put it. This is how I do make my ultimate decisions for myself. Okay, this route is going to take me to have a shorter life. This route could take me to have a better quality of life and a longer life. I want that one. That means no soda at all. That means this, no. These companies are not going to make money off me while I'm giving them my hard earned money and I'm shortening my lifespan. I'm not going to do it no more. They're not going to. So I look at them as the wolves. Those are the wolves. I'm not giving the wolf my money. I want to live longer. So that means I got to do certain things. So one of the things that I do is, and I don't get paid. Again, I'm not a medical professional, and I don't get paid for all this stuff. But I'm going to just say, there's this company called D Herbs that I tell you, they are no joke. They got this thing called the 20-day cleanse, right? And Steve Harvey used it. He advertises for them. And I tried it during the pandemic because I was pre-diabetic during the pandemic. And I got that way because I got into an accident years ago and they put me on like the pain meds and I was in like physical therapy for like 15 years. Like real talk.
Mhm.
I was in physical therapy for 15 years. So I was a serious accident. I gained some weight, all that stuff. Like I used to be a person who was doing like hundreds of push-ups a day. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, got to the pre-diabetes stage. My brother died, so I said, listen, and then I caught COVID. I didn't get it to where I had to be hospitalized or nothing, but it was a scary thing. So I said, yo, let me get my eating intact. If these are the comorbidity factors, let me eliminate these right now. So I did the 20-day cleanse, and the first one was not easy because I'm gonna tell you what the 20-day cleanse is. Raw fruits and vegetables, zero sugar for 20 days, zero salt for 20 days, nothing cooked, water. If I make a juice, it's got to be raw fruit or vegetable juice. That's it. 20 days straight. I lost 30 something pounds. 20
Wow, in
days.
20 days?
20 days. And they give
Wow.
you these herbal supplements that you got to take. One cleans your respiratory system, one cleans your colon, the other one is to clean your blood. Burdock root is for your blood.
I do
Burdock
that.
root.
Matter of fact, I got one. It's brewing right now. Not
Yeah,
brewing, but steaming. I already got. I got
clean.
it. I got the
You
Yeah, I
got
put it
it.
in. I steam it. Not steam
Mm-hmm.
it, but I boil water and I let it
Mm-hmm.
seep in there, and I cover it, and then I drink it.
Dandelion root, same
Oh
thing.
yes,
It's different things. Golden seal. My mother used to use all this stuff when I was
bro.
a kid, and I didn't know why. I just knew she just made up a pot of something and she was like, drink this. When I was a kid, I had bad what do they call that? It's not asthma, it's the other one. Bronchitis. I stayed with bronchitis. So
I
she
remember
used to
tell
give me
quick.
these concoctions.
I remember. I
Mm,
remember. I remember. One time, I was going to work at a post office, and I used to smoke weed, and I needed to get my stuff. I wouldn't. Even, I didn't want to tell your mother that.
mm,
Right. I didn't tell your mother that I smoked
mm,
weed. I just said,
mm,
I went in, I said, yeah, I'm about to go take this test and I need to be, you know, be positive because I be around people that smoke. She said,
mm.
say less. She went in the kitchen. I was over here talking to her mirror and everything. Then she came back. She gave me this little bottle. So I went home and I took it. I drank it. Faheem, I don't know what it did something to me.
Mm-hmm.
It stripped me with. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the hell was in it? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I like she was always in the kitchen brewing something. It was always something
yeah,
brewing, like some
yeah.
herb or something. So definitely is that. Like, you gotta
Mm,
learn, you have to learn things that, that instead of going and get medication, we have a medication here that we could use. Like you said, dandelion tea to help, golden seal. What else is for the liver? I used to take a lot, like to cleanse. If you have a
milk thistle, all that. Yeah.
milk thistle, if you have a clean liver,
Mm,
you're very healthy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
so all these
Listen,
things,
huh?
yeah, all these things is there for you. You just got to
Right.
actually research it, right? Um, and take care of yourself. This is
Yeah,
basically it because you only got one life,
yeah.
So it depends on you how you want. As you're getting older, I remember when I used to really be into fitness and working out. I used to leave work and on my lunchtime and go to the gym and work out. And people always used to say, "Oh, what you gonna do? You're gonna work? Oh, work out for me." You know what I'm saying? And he's like,
Mm,
"Oh, why are you working out all this stuff? You're gonna get older." I said, "You know something? It's not. Yes, the point is, I want to be able to walk upright and be
right,
able to do things, be function
right,
as an older person instead of
right,
be hunched over, can't do anything, not strong enough to do it. It's the quality of life that I want to live later on in life.
right.
But you have to put in the work while you're younger.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, people didn't understand that, but they learned it. They learned as
Mm-hmm.
they got older, they learned because okay. It's one of these things. I remember, I don't know if you ever watched that. There was a show with it was the obese people, and then they will go in competition who could lose the most weight.
Mm-hmm.
I always used to say the person that used to be an athlete or a person that used to work out, I said,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's a ringer. Because you
Mm-hmm.
got you know what I'm saying? Because you
That's
already
right.
know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? You know the soreness, you know everything that's gonna come about from it, right? Opposed to
Mm-hmm.
someone that never worked out in their life.
Right.
Right. It never did. So I always say, nah, that person has the upper hand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There was one question that someone posed to me was saying that, can a big person be healthy?
Hmm. So, we have this BMI, body mass index. We use this a lot when we do insurance policies.
Mhm.
And I've met several big people who were agile, fast, and strong, right? So I'm going to say, of course, there's a possibility that a big person could be healthy. Now, depends on the definition of big. Now, if you have a huge stomach, because that's belly fat, like I've seen big people that are well proportioned. You see what I'm saying? Like they're not unhealthy per se. Their gut is not falling over. But when you have it where you have certain things like that, and that's unhealthy on your body just in general. The weight on your joints is what I'm talking about. Is your knees and your ankles and everything that bears weight. So my dad, I tell you about an accident he had. I told you he was like 400 pounds close to. He had a big stomach, but he didn't have big legs. And he was walking at work and he slipped on some black ice and it tore his quadricep muscle from his leg. It tore it.
Mm.
And he wound up having surgeries that never really fixed it. And he wound up having to retire from his job when he wasn't planning on retiring. But it's if your weight is causing you health issues. So sometimes, they're related. You having this problem breathing because of your weight. So like even my dad, he was so big, he had a really big stomach. He could not lay on his back and sleep. He slept sitting up in a chair like a lazy boy because the weight will be on his chest.
And he probably
So
had sleep
he
apnea.
he absolutely had it, and so did my brother. My brother, he would fall asleep in a movie theater. Like literally, you hear him snoring and choking and all kind of stuff in the theater. And he would fall asleep. Well, he said it was narcolepsy. So he would fall asleep mid conversation, like while we eating dinner. You see what I'm saying? Like
It's all part of like the sugar is always
it's
part of it.
the
Is
sugar
it's just like,
takes your consciousness. It just sucks it away,
yeah.
right? But the cases like I said that I use to I do a cleanse. I do a 20-day cleanse 2 to 3 times a year
On top, you
just
still
to
and you
keep me.
still and you still do Ramadan. So Ramadan is
Yeah,
it's
so
like
so
it's like
so so not eating is a
uh-huh.
cleanse,
Yeah.
right? So guess
Uh-huh.
what? Now intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is I'm not going to eat from 7 o'clock until 7 o'clock tonight till 11 o'clock tomorrow. That your body gets to burn off the stored up energy, which is in fat. Your body gets to burn some of that off.
Yeah,
So
I do that too. Like right now,
yeah,
I haven't eaten yet. I haven't
yeah,
eaten yet.
yeah,
But I think my body, I know is one thing you gotta know your body too. My
yeah.
body, eh, well, my body is this, it adapts. What
Hmm.
you have to basically have to keep it guessing. Because
Yep.
I really feel like, okay, this is normal for me. Like I ain't eat nothing. I'm not gonna eat till probably later on tonight. And it's
Hmm.
fine. So I think
Hmm.
I have to take it another level to
Right.
really start like seeing because it's used to it. Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because the body, yeah, yeah, he's gonna feed me. You know,
It's
it's
going to
like
store
around
the
10
fat.
o'clock, he's
It's
gonna
going to
feed me.
store the fat. It's going to
Yeah.
store the fat because it's like, oh, there's no food around, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like that. But in the workout sector, they call it muscle confusion. So I did
Mhm.
a lot of workouts, different kinds of workouts. So it's like change your workout,
Yeah.
switch it up. So you
Exactly.
confuse the muscle so it doesn't plateau and get used to the workout. So
That's
all of that too.
exactly perfect. I know only people that work out understand that plateau is like after 6 months, man. You like I used to go walk through my workout and I had an
Mm,
intense. I'm talking about 45 minutes doing, going. But I did it one day. I was like, wait a minute.
mm,
I went through my whole workout, didn't break a sweat.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because the
plateau.
body, yeah, the body knew exactly all the moves and everything that it was going to do. But and I would work out with someone else, and it will not even lift. I used to love lifting heavy. It would
Mm-hmm.
not even be that big of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I did a I was in the gym and I did took one of those free um workouts with one of the trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't see until I took off my shirt. I've never seen my body like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because all we
Mm-hmm.
did was calisthenics, a whole bunch
Right.
of push-ups,
Right.
a whole. It was so much. Like when I finished, right? Because I'm so used to lifting heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I finished working out. I was like, okay, now can we go lift weights?
Hmm.
Faheem, I couldn't
Hmm.
lift 25 pounder.
Yeah, because he
I
got you to do
couldn't.
the lift the push-ups made your muscles fail.
Yeah, I didn't even know because after when I finished,
Mm-hmm.
like he was like he told me, "Oh, you did well," because I didn't think I was doing good. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, "Nah,
Mm-hmm.
you did really well." You know, and then I didn't know that I didn't feel because you know the feel of when you finish working out, doing your workout. I didn't feel that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, now let's go lift let's go lift some weights because I'm so used to lifting weights.
Right.
And I sat on a weight bench, took a 20. First of all, I tried to take the weights that I usually try, and I couldn't do it. So he said, "Hey, try 25." I was like, "Oh man, I couldn't
Mm.
even do that."
Yeah.
Right? And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I stopped, and when I left, and when I took off my shirt, I was like, "Wow, there's a
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
between kinesthetics and Someone who used to always tell me kinesthetics stays with you. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's my
It stick
staple.
with you. Yeah,
It's
yeah, it
my
stick with
staple.
you.
So I do that because like I have a workout and then like on a Monday or a Tuesday I'll do like 130 push-ups.
Mm,
So and then I'll do like 60 to 90 pull-ups. So that's the workout. So I do it in set, push-ups, switch to pull-up, then it's back to push-ups. And I just keep doing that till I knock out that number. And then plyometrics is something else. It's for your cardio, for your heart,
hmm
right? So that's exercises that require you to
Burpees
jump.
and all that.
Yeah, everything require you to jump, man. So
I can't stand burpees, man.
no weights. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah,
weight involved in it, but
and the heart rate,
um, it's
your
get
heart
your
rate.
heart rate up. So you're training your heart. That's like you're building your heart muscle. You're actually working out your heart. But
This is
all of this is for people who love to do it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Let
Like
me tell you, if I
who's
ain't talking
into it.
about it, talking about it
Mhm.
was just like what they used to tell you, work out. You do your like after you work out, you will go do
Mm.
your do your go on the treadmill and do all this.
Right,
But I did it the opposite. I
right.
used to go
That's
running
the warm up.
45 to do it and make myself tired.
Right.
Then I went and did my workout because I
Yeah,
said
that's
if
your
I
warm
could
up.
do
That's
my
a perfect warm
yeah
up.
yeah if I could be 45 minutes running doing calisthenics and all that and then go do
Hmm.
my workout,
Hmm.
man, you know what I'm saying, because it's you got to put your body into a deficit, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it could get used to it. I know you say that, but I'm like, okay, can I do my workout when I'm tired?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm
how I
saying?
do. I do lift to failure. Everything to me is lift to, it's to fail.
Yeah,
So, but here's for the people who don't work out, we don't want to, we
yeah,
want you to be
get
part of this conversation
yeah,
because
that,
your body, think of your body, if you're into cars, it's your favorite car, it takes this premium gasoline, it needs to be maintained and cleaned. That's your body, right? And if you take care of your body and you give it the premium fuel and you nurture and build the car and treat it right, the body will last you longer and it will have a better quality of life. Now, we're not guaranteeing you a long life because people do die in
yeah,
accidents who are in great shape, right? So but we're saying your quality of life would be much, much better. So if you find it hard to get motivated to even get to that point, they have these chair workouts, start somewhere. Like now I have a station. I used to ride around Central Park on my bike. I have a stationary bike in my house. So I just get on the stationary bike. I get 45 minutes in. I'll do like 9, 10 miles on it. And then that's my warm up. Then I'm good. Then I could do what I need to do. So, but you should get motivated because this one saying that I say, sometimes we in our own head, oh, this is me, me, me. It's all about me, me, me. This is not my body. This is my grandchildren's body. This is for my grandchildren. This is for my great grandchildren. I have to maintain myself so I can see them. That's how I think. So I take it out of the me realm and put it to, oh, nah, this is for my my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. So I want to be around. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to pick them up. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to do certain things, and I know that if I don't challenge my body, because our bodies develop when we challenge it. That's why you lift the failure. That's why you gotta, being comfortable does not make anything great. Does not make anything last and sustain. Being uncomfortable does. So then we could delve in another time. We could talk about mental health stuff, because a lot of us got mental health issues that we haven't been able to figure things out with. But that's all part of our health and our health circle, our complete circle of health.
To elaborate on that is that with me, the way I look at it is this, right? Do you love yourself? If you love yourself, look at what you're doing to yourself and say, is that love really?
Right.
And sometimes we will, like, let me give you an example. We have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And would you give your baby soda? Now, when you say no, me and you both will be saying no, right? And
Right.
answer the question, why wouldn't you give that baby a soda?
Because I
And
know
then
it's not
say
good for
what?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you put that? Why would you give yourself soda?
Right.
It's that
Right.
self. We don't know it much. Like we do. There's a lot of times people would do things for other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we won't do it for ourselves. You
I
have
think I
to
think
love
I think
yourself
it's
more.
I think it's also because, like that simple logic that makes all the sense in the world. You go to schools and they tell the kids to say no to drugs. They tell the kids to say no to alcohol, and their teachers is using drugs and alcohol, right? So if it's bad for the kid, and they show them the food pyramid, so this is real, right? They show them the food pyramid and say your kids got to eat this, but the adults don't eat it. Like adult doesn't make you immune to the effects of the bad things you're telling the kids not to do. But adults have freedom of choice. So you can choose to poison yourself or not. But we tell the kids, don't poison yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that message should carry through to adulthood. Don't do this. If it's bad for a kid, then of course it's going to be bad for you. We tell kids, not to use not to be around certain areas is dangerous. Okay, so adults shouldn't be around that either. Right?
Exactly.
It's simple, but it's too simple.
Growing up, our parents used to hear "do as I say, not as I do," type of
Yeah.
thing, and it's terrible. It's terrible, and I really feel it, like, especially with me, like, going through, like I said, I went through pre-diabetic diabetes and all that, and knowing what I know, I used to feel bad because I know better. You know what I'm saying? But things have, you
Yeah.
should not, don't, and one things I, like, whoever's listening to this, do not get discouraged. That's not what we're doing right here, and
Right.
shaming you or anything. We're actually, there's no reason for us to be here to talk. It's because we love you, and we
Right.
want to share this so you could do better, so you could live a healthier life. And know,
Right.
if you don't know what to do, hopefully listening to what we talked about, our experience and what we went through and what we did, because both of us went through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just giving our knowledge of what we did and what we're doing to try to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So recap, we touched on intermittent,
Intermittent fasting.
thank you, intermittent fasting. Do the research on those things so you could understand it, and you have to try to do things that you think you could do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you progress, like we said, that, what I'm saying, you do better. So start today. It could be a walk. If you can't do 20 minutes, do 10. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon, right? Not a sprint, because we want to live a long time. So then other things, start changing things in your cupboard. Do you still say cupboard now? Start changing
Yeah,
things in your
yeah,
refrigerator,
yeah.
or whatever, in your kitchen, right?
Mm,
Stop buying the stuff that you know you're gonna be weak, and you know what I'm saying, you might tempt yourself to getting it. You know what I'm saying? So don't put those things in your refrigerator. And one thing that I've learned, especially when I was transitioning into becoming a vegetarian or pescatarian, add, you know what I'm saying? You add something, and then you subtract others. Like, you know, if you can't, if you like soda, you know what I'm saying, there's other options that you could do, a better option, right?
mm,
You could you know, fizz it up or something, some tea or something. I do green tea or stuff.
mm.
You'll learn when you'll, like I said before, your taste buds will change once you, trust me, you know what I'm saying. And then once you start taking these subtracting these things out of your diet, you'll see you won't miss it. You won't miss
Right.
it, you know, because you're going to start adding new things. There's good food out there, right? You know, instead of
Mm,
eating the same things, you know, add something, some salad, some greens in your life. One thing, if you don't want to eat it, juice it,
yeah.
make smoothies. So
Yeah.
we adding stuff that's gonna be beneficial for us, right? So,
Mm,
you know, this is what it is. You adding new introducing new things, and then while you introducing, then maybe you'll subtract the bad things that's not good for us,
right.
right?
Like you said, fizz it up. Salsa water. You know, if you like that fizziness of the soda, you can have some salsa water with a juice that you made, a natural juice that doesn't have a bunch of sugar. You could put that in there, and it gives you that soda kind of consistency, right? In the sense of the bubbly. But yeah, I think that if we pay attention to how food is being sold to us, or what they're even saying food is, it is sold like an addictive product, like you sell drugs, right? It's, to me, it's like that. Like, it's sold to us in a way that causes addiction, food addiction, right? And you know, addiction is hard for us to a lot of people to break out of. And don't get me wrong, I had to fight and fight and fight to change my eating because I had certain habits that I had that was not good. So yeah, just looking again, like you said, just to reiterate, we're here because we care about the people. We want the people to have great quality of life, and we don't want the people to be hospitalized or you know, die prematurely from what they're eating, because you don't have to. You don't
Definitely,
have
definitely.
to.
And some, I mean, I'm going to mention some of the things that from complications, maybe you need to be scared, so
Mm,
you can understand. You're talking about heart disease, right? Talking about stroke, talking about kidney failure, nerve damage, amputation, and we talked about, we mentioned this plenty of time, vision loss. These are
mm,
what, it's not, it's not, it's when. It's not if you're gonna get it. It's like when it's gonna happen if you get the full blown diabetes. You know what I'm saying? And then you know,
mm,
the worst thing I could say is this: when you have the capability to actually do something about something. Like most of us, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? But when you have the capability of actually being able to do something or reverse something, right? It should empower you.
mm,
It should empower you. Empower you. Trust me, I know addiction, food addiction is a real thing, right? I used to smoke cigarettes, right? I didn't smoke a pack of cigarettes, but I used to smoke one cigarette here, one cigarette there, you know what I'm saying? And I thought I wasn't addicted to it until I tried to quit.
mm.
Until I tried to quit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And then there's one thing I don't like. I don't like to be addicted to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same here.
because you think about it, it's like something is control. I don't like being controlled.
Right.
Just put blank on
Right.
any which way, fashion, or I don't like being controlled about anyway, right?
Right.
So especially that, and then knowing that, it's we talked about this. Behind you said it. It's a mental thing.
Mm.
It's a mental weakness, right? And we need to, you know, when it's a mental weakness, we need to strengthen our mentals, right?
Right.
So
That's right.
that's what you need to do. If you weak as, yo, just practice everything. I love working out. Love using everything in life as I mean, comparing it to going to the gym and working out, because you
Mm,
start at a certain level and then you just get better in the gym,
yep.
right? If you keep consistency, it's everything that life is. You could relate it to going to the gym and the results and everything that you get by going, because it takes consistency, it takes mental strength, takes physical strength. You know what I'm saying? And you doing, and then the results are amazing. What you could transform your body to.
Hmm.
You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? Yeah. I mean, your body is it's incredible. You know what I'm saying? Once you give it the right tools and what it needs to thrive, you'll be surprised what what you could do. So if you listen to this and you're don't think you could do it, please take that out your mind.
I
Right?
want to lead in with two books, if you don't mind.
Oh
Two
yes,
books
please,
written by
please.
the same author that
Mhm.
helped me get my health in perspective. You know, because some of us need to read it too, and in addition to doing it. So there's two books. One's called "The End of Heart Disease," is by the same author, and the other one is called "The End of Diabetes" by Dr. Fuhrman, Fuhrman. And I've had my children read the books. I have the books in my house. These will give you a perspective of diet. So when they see people with these great physical bodies, they think they work out a ton. That physical body is 80% is dependent on the diet, 20% is dependent on the workout. So with the fuel you're putting in your body, that's why I made the car analogy. And the second thing, this is highly, highly, highly important because we're in an information age. People could get information just like that. But information without action is meaningless.
Definitely.
Don't be a repository of facts. Do something with them. So that's something I just want to impart to people. And I think a good follow up meeting for us, a conversation would be, since we had these similar situations with our parents, what was the mental aspect that we went through while we was taking care of our parents? Because we don't talk about that enough. What did it do? What did it make us think about? How were we handling it? How did it affect our mental health? I think that'll be a great conversation.
No, definitely, definitely. I would. I don't know if my sister would jump on because she took care of my mother.
It
So
would be dope to have her
Ye-
on because
yeah, but
we need to
something
talk
like you
about
said.
this.
Let me tell you something, Fahim.
Mm,
It did a number on her.
listen,
So I don't know
yeah,
if she
articulate
would
it.
want to bring that back.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Have a
I'll ask her.
conversation with her. Have a
Yeah,
conversation with
I
her.
will. I will
See
because
what it
it
is.
could help her.
Yeah, it's
It could help
therapeutic.
her. You know what I'm saying? Because you go through a lot of emotions. You go through a lot. You
Yeah,
get guilt because
yeah,
the way you feeling, because yeah, it's a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot that goes into it, and of your parent, and is
yeah.
taking care of your parent and loved one. Let's just put it that
It's
way.
not easy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not easy. So I have a wealth of experience with my dad. So we could talk about that too. And sometimes it feels good to be in the company of other people who know what that struggle is. She might find support in it if she decides to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I will reach out to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll send her this or tell her to watch
Mm.
it. So
Okay.
maybe she'll jump on, and because I watched her go through it, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and I understand, but it's not the same as the person that actually lived it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was
Yeah.
there watching it, you
Right.
know, but she lived it, you
Right.
know. We
Yeah.
understood everything, me and my younger sister, but she took the
Hmm.
brunt of it,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So one of the things that, some of the vitamins, let's say, that I think everybody we are deficient in, I want to actually mention some of these things, is like vitamin D, because
Yeah.
we all know
D3.
vitamin D. We all know that because we're up north, we don't get enough sun,
Hmm.
so vitamin D3,
Hmm.
um, vitamin B
Hmm.
complex, B6, B12, folate, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Um, damn, there's one mineral,
K12.
magnesium. Yeah,
Yeah, magnesium. Yeah, magnesium is
magnesium.
good for you. That's good for your heart.
Chromium. Oh,
Chromium.
definitely.
Yep.
Zinc,
Yep.
zinc, potassium.
Right.
These are all these that we need. And do your research, because this is I love diving into, because I don't just listen to what people tell me. I go out there and dive in and
Mhm.
understand, because just like, for instance, you heard some herbs, like for instance, what's that? Damn, I can't think of it now. Is that spice? Um, Indian spice, curry, not
Oh,
curry,
cumin.
not
Cumin.
cumin. No,
Curry.
it's
It's
for the
like
joints.
curry.
It's for
They
the
have another one called it's orange. I use it all the time. I cook with it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh
That's terrible.
oh,
You know,
I can't remember the name. Yo, that's crazy. I can't remember the name of it.
uh,
It's killing me right now.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
Um,
sorry. You know what I'm saying? But it's a
yeah,
spice that we know. It's probably gonna come to us before we get off this. But it's a spice. But then you know that to activate it, you have to put black pepper.
yeah.
Is it? No, it's not curry.
It's
Um,
one is called cumin, but
yeah,
the other
cumin.
one is turmeric.
Thank you. Thank you, Faheem. Thank you. I was gonna have a headache. Yeah, turmeric.
Turmeric,
Turmeric. You
anti-inflammatory.
Yep. Listen, let me just tell you another story. After pandemic, Faheem, I couldn't run.
Mm,
I couldn't run. One day I was trying to go across the street, right? And I was like, oh, let me run. I went like this to run, and I walked.
mm,
Because I know my body. My body was
mm,
like, if let you try to run,
mm.
go
He
ahead,
was like,
try it. He said, try it. And I listened, right? So
hmm,
I was like, okay, I'm out of shape. Damn, it's over. You know what I'm saying? We knew this could
mm,
come, and I know, I did it to myself. This is what I was telling myself. And then
mm,
I came, and when I bought that my home, and I had stairs and everything, and going down the stairs. Usually going downstairs as a young, going downstairs the easiest thing. You jump, and
yeah,
it's supposed to
yeah,
be the easiest. But I felt it going down the stairs, my knees and everything and such.
mm,
Then I started taking I started juicing, right? And I was
mm,
juicing ginger, the juice I was telling you, ginger, pineapple. Then I was doing it's called it's golden milk. Y'all, you could
mm,
look it up. Is it something, you look it up, whoever's listening to this, and you'll understand what it is. And I used to drink that. I was then next, everything went away. My body was inflamed. That's what it was, Fahim.
hmm,
It was nothing
hmm,
else but
hmm,
inflammation. Because once the inflammation went away, till this day, I'm up and down the stairs like nothing.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So a lot of things that you're going through is
hmm.
because your body is inflamed.
What's the number one cause of inflammation? Sugar,
Disease. Oh, there you go.
sugar,
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah.
Sugar causes you inflammation. It causes your joints to ache.
Mm-hmm.
When I do the
Definitely.
cleanse, I feel like nothing hurts. I feel like I could run a million miles. Anything that was swollen is gone. Just like that. All my joints work the way they supposed. Everything worked just by changing the diet and not eating sugar.
Yep. And then if we learn this by working out. You will not heal until your inflammation is gone.
That's right.
Like if you have a back, your shoulder hurts. You know this when working out. You know, if anything you're in pain, you ice it up, because you have to bring down the inflammation and
Hmm,
such before it starts healing. So if you in pain or something is hurting you, you got to make sure you're not don't have any type of inflammation, and we have
hmm,
to work on that inflammation to actually start the healing process. So like these healing foods and is excellent for you. lemon Lemon juice, good for inflammation. You know what I'm saying? Pineapple, you know definitely. I don't know terminologies of what is in the pineapple, but blow to me. I'm not gonna even try to, play myself,
Mm,
but
mm,
do your research, look into what I'm talking about. Pineapple
mm.
definitely will help. So adding these things to your food, adding these things to your diet will help, because maybe you think that, well, I can't walk because it's painful. Start working on that. So
Right.
then it'd be a little easier for you to take that walk, right? By adding these things to cook with it. These are spices. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? These are spices. You guys, you gotta see that. I always used to think that, do Indian people, suffer because they cook with these spices. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I would love to see what they suffer from, because it can be inflammation, unless they like, some people just used to with their diet growing up, and then as they got
Mm.
older, they don't want to eat their food anymore because they're tired of it, because
Well,
they've been eating it throughout their
traditionally,
life.
traditionally, I know that if they maintain their culture, they have a longer lifespan than we do.
Yes.
Traditionally, like their lifespan just way surpasses ours because of the food they eat.
Yeah,
Just all these
definitely.
spices and herbs and stuff in their food, and then they just eat healthier. And they have other things that's in their favor, and they're driven to be educated, and there's a whole lot. But yeah,
Yeah.
this was awesome, man.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should have said it to the men. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this will help. You know, pre-diabetic, it mess with your sexual, and
Right,
diabetes. If
right.
so it's one of the things that, firstly, if you think that, oh, you're getting older and it's not going, that's probably the cause.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So, you could reverse all that. Trust me. Because the thing about it is that, like they said, it's a slow, like, especially heart disease, it's the slow killer or whatever, because you
mm,
don't see it happening. Right? Let me tell you one thing. I went to the doctor, I went to the doctor one time. Faheem, they was like, "You okay?" Because that's another thing too. But my job was, I work overnight, and that's
mm,
another reason why I gained the weight and everything and
right.
such. I worked overnight, and I was so used to being tired
Mm,
that I thought it because I needed sleep. Right. So again, I said, okay, I need to go. I know I need to go to the doctor to get a checkup because it's been over 2 years. So I went. I said, something, I'm not going to go schedule that because they're gonna give me, because it was back during COVID, right? So
mm,
you couldn't get a doctor's appointment. It was like, okay, 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I went to the emergency room, not emergency room. I went to what do you call it? You walk
Urgent
in,
care?
urgent care. I sat there. They took my blood pressure. The young lady looked at me and was like, "You okay?" I said, "What are you talking about? I'm fine." She had to call some, she called
Yeah.
someone. She was like, "Listen, if you went two more, a little higher, we would have to admit you to the hospital." That's
Mm,
how high my blood pressure was.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's the silent killer, like they said. You don't know because it doesn't
right,
happen like right away. You
right.
learn to adapt to it, and you trying to make sense of it. Of course. Oh yeah, I work overnight. I'm always tired. I'm not getting enough sleep. All I need is some sleep, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
before we leave, we also want to to tell everybody, you have to go to the doctor.
Yes.
You
Get
have
your
to go
regular
get your,
checkups,
yeah, you have to go. You know what I'm
especially
saying?
black men.
Yes, definitely go and get, because once you get to a certain age, it's sad, but you get to see a lot. A lot of people don't make it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't make it, and then it's for the simple reason where they did not go and get a checkup,
Mm,
because and they self medicate themselves.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They
Because
use
because
drugs. They use drugs.
I think this is a conversation, another topic.
Yeah.
I think we as black men have an underlying depression that doesn't come forward.
Hmm.
We may be dealing with a level, because I've dealt with depression throughout my life. So I know that these things are not on the table because we have a level of depression that might be undiagnosed, or we don't acknowledge it. We push it to the back because we got to always put on our strong face and we got to always move forward, and look like we got it together. But part of that, it means you're not going to the doctor. Part of that means you in denial about your condition, or you just don't want to hear the answer, like you said in the beginning. You don't want to hear the diagnosis. You don't want to hear you got to change this. You sick. You don't want to hear that. Because for some reason we take it like super personal, like somebody's judging us, right? So all
Or
of
you
this stuff
weak,
is
or you
part of
weak
it.
or something. And
Or you're weak. So we don't want to be
yeah,
seen as weak. I
yeah,
say men
exactly.
don't want to be seen as no man that I know in history ever wanted to be seen as weak. So you want to be seen as strong. So, to hear that there is was a chink in your armor, you don't want to hear that. You don't want
Yeah,
to accept it for yourself. So yeah,
yeah,
get your regular checkups. I have a cardiologist. I have a regular doctor. I have physical therapy doctors when I need to get the therapy. I have all kinds of doctors. You got your dentist. Listen, all this stuff is about your health, your overall health. So you need to be on it.
yeah. You can't take care of your car better than you take care of yourself.
Nah, but guess
You know
what?
what I'm saying?
That
People,
happens.
most people do it. Yeah, people do it all the time. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Oh, I hear this little clink in the car. Let me go get it checked. Yeah, but
Yep.
with you don't do that. You know
And
what
in the
I'm
worst case scenario, something happened to you, your car gonna get rusty.
saying? Exactly.
That's what's gonna happen because nobody gonna give it the attention you was giving it.
Hmm.
Car gonna get rusty while you in the hospital with IVs coming out you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
Fahim, like I know people that they find themselves in the hospital multiple times and they still didn't learn because the thing about it, they see themselves still walking out the hospital. And then there's some people that just, they will say that one day you're gonna walk in that hospital and you're not gonna walk out.
right.
Or even worse, walk out, but you're not the same person. You're a vegetable.
The message
You know
didn't
what I'm
get
saying?
to the intended part of your brain that there has to be some type of change to avoid these frequent hospital visits. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's the change is what they don't want to do. Because usually, and I know there's
mm,
people like when every time they go to the hospital, it's because they did something they not supposed to do. They was eating, was drinking, you know. So some people
mm,
they had gout. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
didn't really know what gout was. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
the cause of it is alcohol and red meat. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
It's I know I learned a long time ago like how long red meat stays in your body, and then that's when I cut. I mean, I was maybe 20 years old. Like
right,
I was all into always was into, when you into working out, part
mm,
of working out, you always have the health part of it, right?
right,
So that's why I learned a lot from it. I learned from red meat because I used to eat steak. Come on, steak and eggs in the morning.
right, right,
When you go eat, what you gonna get? Oh, let me give me some steak and potatoes and
mm,
whatever, right? So
mm,
when I learned how long red meat could stay in your body, I was like, okay, I stopped doing that. I stopped
right,
eating burgers all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, I have a turkey burger or I have a chicken
mm,
burger or such,
mm,
back then. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And rarely did I eat steak. I ate steak like maybe every 2 months or something, I would
mm,
have one. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Or
right,
I got so used to it that it wasn't something that I craved. And I love steak. You know what I'm saying? That
mm,
wasn't something that I craved a lot. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But if you know better, you should do better.
right,
You can't know and then continue doing the same thing. You can't say to yourself, well, I didn't know. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So I always tell people that, yo, listen, it's not the point of if, there's dying, yes, that's the easiest thing that you could hope that happens to you. It's the ones that, you know what I'm saying, that you have your kids have to take care of you or a loved one have to take
yeah,
care of you. How would you, I would, that will kill me. That will hurt me more knowing that my sons can't live their life the way they should live it because they have to take care of me.
yeah, because your children will be suffering from your
Exactly.
decisions,
Yeah.
right?
For my
Their
negligence.
quality of life.
Yeah.
Mayor Adams, I interviewed him on a diabetes thing because he reversed his diabetes. He had
Yes.
gone blind to everything at one point. So I interviewed
Wow.
him and we were talking, and he says, people say life is short. He said, that's not true. Life is long, especially when you got to go to dialysis multiple times a week.
Hmm.
That's long. So again, your quality of life, man, you got to pay attention to
Yeah. And I watched
what
someone
you're
do that.
doing.
I watched somebody like not listen to the point they on dialysis now.
Man, that's hard.
Yeah,
That's
it
hard
is.
right there.
It is. So well,
And
Faheem, man, this was, man, I love this conversation.
yeah, me too.
This was great. I hope we gave a lot of information, and I'm hoping people would definitely, you know, receive this and know that there's no judgment, you know, in what we're saying. We're just
Right.
giving, the real, that what we went through and what you could do to reverse diabetes or type 2 diabetes if it went that far. And it's up to you,
Mhm.
actually. You got some of the information that we gave you. Do your own research, like I said, and start moving.
Right.
That's the number one thing. Start somewhere. Well,
Right.
all the
Look at
information we
yourself.
gave. Yeah,
Look at yourself, and then you're gonna note where you are, but be honest in your evaluation. Be honest is where you are, because that's the problem. Is we always come up with excuses why we don't. Oh, we don't have to do that. I'm gonna drink a liter of soda, or I'm gonna drink a half a liter of soda. No, be honest. Don't be delusional. Like, oh, you can keep doing the same thing and you're gonna get a different result. They say that's the recipe for
insanity.
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 So yeah, just be honest with yourself. You don't got to report to us. We're not gonna come by your house with no checkbook and say, did you do this? That's not our job, right? But we're just trying to make you aware of it so you can be honest with yourself and make the change within yourself. Nobody has to know. You don't have to worry about somebody judging you or anything. You just do it.
No, definitely. So
Hmm.
let's end this.
All right.
Fahim, we're gonna Dave, you could send me some information so later on when I post this, I could
Okay.
give people direction to where to go, what I'm saying, if they need help, because you actually took that training. And
Hmm.
I was thinking about doing it until you said that you stopped.
Yeah, I stopped because
you know,
I don't like the coddling part. Like the coddling
okay.
part is like, don't tell them this and don't say that to them. And I'm like, but this was what I learned. And they're like, no, but don't say it. Don't say it like this. Like they told us, like, I'll give you one piece. They told us that the grocery store lines up the items in the store based on what they want you to buy, subliminal.
Mhm.
So that's something that nobody don't know. Like, why do they pick the aisles for these things to be in? Because they know this is where they're going to make the most money in these aisles. So they put the different things in there that's not good for you in those aisles. So
Mhm.
this is just it's a science to it. But yeah, I'll give you some info.
All right, definitely. So when I post it, you'll have everything underneath the post. So definitely um share this. Share this
Yeah,
with your loved ones. Share this with someone that you think would definitely need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing you could do as well. To help
yeah,
people, just to share it. If you're watching this and you know someone that could benefit from what we were talking about, please share this information. And like I said, we'll have everything posted in the bottom. We'll have Fahim's information, everything, and whatever he gives to me, I will just put it underneath this. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you like what we're talking about and what we're bringing, the information that we're bringing. So, man, Fahim, something. I think we could do this once a week, every weekend or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that, man.
Listen,
I'm starting to like this. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So,
I
you
agree
know,
because it's definitely needed. When you talking about it, I was like, yo, let's all right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a definite conversation that and it's less wear and tear on me to be in my studio setting up all the cameras and all that. Then I get other energy, another experience, another opinion, like all of that tied in is great for me.
oh, perfect, perfect.
Hmm.
So we'll end this on that note. And like I said, please like and subscribe if you like this content. And like I said, We, one thing I heard, I'm gonna leave it with this, is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm gonna break it down to you. Do, just take one thing that you do well, right? And then try to mimic that with everything you do in your life. You'll see the progression, because if you do that one thing superbly and you do that one thing, like you, like for instance, going to the gym, you wake up and you go to, yes, let's do that in every aspect of your life, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. All right, let's leave. I'll leave you off with that. And yo, Faheem,
Yes.
I'll reach out to you, and maybe you think of something else to bring to the people. You know.
Okay.
All right,
All
man.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and I appreciate you so much for this. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me part of this. Enjoy.
All right.
All right.